I'm sitting today talking with Scott Carter, Enterprise Sales Management at NetApp.
Correct. Thank you.
And the topic at hand is one that I think is interesting to everyone in this business. Between us, we found we've got north of 60 years experience in high-tech sales, marketing, that sort of arena. And I think we know, many of you will know this too, that the relationship, the point at which the rubber meets the road, if you like, between clients and vendors is often frayed. It doesn't seem to necessarily be optimized for anyone. There's mystique, there's obfuscation. And this new program that you have at NetApp Keystone, is designed to try and smooth that interaction.
Yeah, we're focusing on helping our customers by delivering business models that enable them to use either CapEx or OpEx, decide whether their data should be in the cloud or on-prem. We're giving them both the tools and the business model that will enable them to leverage either, depending on what the workload dictates. And we're also providing the analytics that help them to make that decision, where is the right place for that workload.
One of the first things that we did was work with you on some research. And if you would like to see more details, then you can look at this ESG white paper. But let me just share a few pertinent high-level facts with you. So critical amongst one of our findings is the fact that 73% of respondents agree that their organizations need IT to accelerate the rate of innovation. That is getting very difficult when 2/3 of IT organizations say that IT is more complex than it was just 2 years ago. 57% agree that making large purchases keeps them up at night. 47% agree that they waste too much time verifying what a solution can do versus what the vendor says it can do. Does this resonate with you?
It does, because now in addition to having to make decisions between different manufacturers, you have to make decisions between different clouds. And which is the right cloud for this workload? The cloud vendors are investing huge amounts of money in building out different capabilities, and it's important that IT professionals give their customers, their internal customers the flexibility to use the right cloud or on-prem based on the dynamics of the workload and the solution that they're looking to create for their customers.
Which can change over time.
Which can change very quickly.
So Scott, what are you going to do about all this?
So NetApp has built the partnerships and the technology and the business model and the tools to make it easy for our customers to identify where workloads should live and to move that workload to that place based on the data that we're getting from our systems. So we've invested a lot in machine learning and artificial intelligence that's going to help us not only reduce our customer support costs, but also tell them whether that workload should be best served in the cloud or on-prem.
A lot of people say that. What's the wood behind that arrow? I mean, that sounds very compelling. I know you can do it. I know you've got some of these analytical tools, but how do you really turn that into something that a customer can go, yeah, I want to do that?
We're going to give you the guarantees around performance and reliability that'll make you be able to minimize your costs and maximize your productivity. The real power of NetApp is we're taking and collecting the data and using it in our Active IQ system to do predictive analytics and help our customers solve problems before they become problems. And this gives us the ability to provide higher availability, better efficiencies, better utilization, and really help customers solve problems before they become problems.
And to me, that's really the crux of this, because all too often, going back to what we said at the beginning, customer problems get sort of pushed back into the sausage-making machine that is a vendor and get treated as a technology issue only. Their real issues are to do with workloads, dynamic market, different attitudes to how they run those workloads. And that seems to me to be the value of Keystone, because you're trying to address the real problem and not just put Band-Aids over it.
Yeah, not every problem is a technical problem. And so providing multiple business models for our customers to enable them to meet their budget requirements is critical, and that's a big part of what we're doing with Keystone. So we're solving not just the technical problems, but the business problems.
So we did the initial market research, and then once you've designed the program, we worked to go test that program and see if the programmatic elements would work. 91% of people said that they liked those programmatic elements, and 72% said that if that program, which 91% liked, came from NetApp, they'd be more interested in reviewing it than otherwise.
So I'm not surprised that customers were more interested when they heard that NetApp was the brand behind. I've been very proud of our data fabric vision. These consumption models that we're bringing forward, combined with the technology that we've had available now for several years, make it possible for our customers to know where the workload should be located, and then to move that workload from Amazon to Azure, to Google, to on-prem, and back again, depending on the dynamics of the moment. And so you can reliably work with us and know that you're not going to have to incur technical debt when you want to move from one location to another.
Good point, Scott, and I think it's interesting. You mentioned data fabric. If you're going to have a data fabric from a technology and an operational perspective, then you have to have a fabric, if you like, from a consumption perspective. And you also need, if you like, a fabric in terms of that relationship between the client and the vendor. So I'm very impressed at the breadth of what you're taking on here, really doing as much as you possibly can in terms of that relationship. Very pleased to have ESG involved in terms of the research that we did. Hopefully you'll take time to download the white paper and read more.